Leo, there seems to be plenty of venom in that performance, maybe even a bit of anger. Where did that come from?
I think there's just a desire to come out and perform for the people that support us over the course of a season. So, listen, so much work goes in. I think sometimes maybe people just assume we're going to naturally get through these games. Unfortunately, every team is working. A lot of work has gone in to get to this point. If you think the 18 regular season or regular games that happen in the season, so which start in September and work all the way to now in June, and there's a lot of players used, and there's a lot of effort that goes in to prepare week to week to ensure that you finish top of the pile, and there's a lot of players used, and listen, there's so much great work that goes in. So yeah, listen, when things don't pay off, like which happened a few weeks ago in a different semi-final, it hurts. Yeah, it does hurt. Everyone should know that it hurts the team, and I think there's a desire just to get out there and play well. That's what we do. You got to dust yourselves off and show. Listen, we talked about at that stage, just show what you're made of, and it's just about getting through to the next round. And thankfully, we're in the final now, and just watch the start of that other game, which is mad to think. We're getting ready to play in a final in Croke Park against one of those South African giants of the game. You're covering rugby a long time now, Peter. So, would you have predicted this? When back in 1997, when the provinces go professional, that this would what we'd be getting ready for. One of the Irish provinces getting ready to take on one of those, as I said, juggernauts of the game. It's not just South African rugby; it's of world rugby. It's like over there. Obviously the Bulls play at Loftus, and the Sharks that play in Kings Park in Durban. Like those two iconic stadiums. Yet we're playing in an iconic stadium in Dublin. It's amazing, isn't it? When you think I don't think anyone was predicting that now. When I was sitting in that room and Mike Ruddock was showing us the video of Leicester against Brive, which was the European Cup final from 1997. So, and here we are. So yeah, listen, it's a privilege still to be here in the competition. Thought there was great sport out there. Real proper atmosphere. The way the lower bowl is, and to the loyal supporters, we're very appreciative, and hopefully we get something similar next week, and we can have a great day over in Croke Park.
Jack, I was going to ask you about that. Reaching the final, and obviously a much more fitting chance for a fitting farewell to Keane and Ross and Geordie and all the other players who are leaving. It won't be a motivation this week.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a motivation for the last 2 weeks to give them another week in the club and do right with them. I think, Church obviously has given his entire career to this club. Ross has been a fantastic servant. Geordie, the impact he's made, even the likes of Limo and Robbo have been brilliant throughout their careers here for us. We want to do right by all those lads, and it's something we've touched on a lot. And I think it's probably part of the reason why we were so on today, because we want to give those lads the send off they deserve. But again, it won't count for much if we don't push on now and be better than we were again today.
I know man of the match awards are down to one individual so far, but you couldn't really quibble with Ryan Baird getting his performance today.
Yeah, no, Baird was fantastic. I think, obviously he's an unbelievable athlete and fantastic in the line out and stuff, and I think his work around the pitch was brilliant today. And I think Scott Penny as well, in particular, was fantastic, ever present in all aspects of the game. And, I think everyone went well. Tommy was brilliant. Jamo Sammy had some fantastic decision making. Geordie, obviously, incredible player. Scrum was dominant from the lads up there. The line I called him spot on. So, great to Berto get the accolade, but I think a host of lads went really well.
Jack, finals are always special occasions, but how much of being at home and being in Croke Park add to it?
Yeah, unbelievably special. I think we've relished every opportunity we've got to run out there in the last few years, whether it's starting with Northampton last year, Munster and Harlequins this year. So, the history and the iconic nature of that stadium isn't lost on us, and we'll want to do right by that and be at our best again.
Leo, the injured players, would you expect to find them back next Saturday?
Yes. As in any of them, there will be one or two of them back, I think, yeah.
Which ones?
Good question.
TBC.
I don't know. I don't know. I have a sort of order in my head, but I don't want to be misquoted here in case I get it wrong.
Josh,
Josh will be top of the list, I'd say. Yeah,
Hugo,
yeah, somewhere in the middle. Gary will be up near the top. Somewhere in the middle, I'd say. Will Connors, Brian Deeney, definitely at the bottom. Who else of the senior gang that's injured?
Robbie.
Robbie down near the bottom as well, yeah. So there's probably a pecking order there, yeah. Yeah, you get a bit of an indication there, I'd say. Yeah. Gary, Josh, probably the two favourites, I'd say.
When you were talking about how the blowout matches that you had this season that didn't prepare you so well, and today's scoreline might have flattered Glasgow in the end when they ran into those strikes. Where does that? How do you today set you up for next week? How does it prepare you?
I don't think you can have it. Like, it doesn't make a difference really. Win by 40, win by 3. What difference does it make really? It's just getting through. So, if anything, it's a tight game is good because everyone feels a bit need to get better here.
You wouldn't class today as a tight game, really, would you?
No, but the main thing is just getting through. You know what I mean? So. And the group is still competitive, so there's some good selection headaches for the week ahead because I think there will be a few guys back in the mix, yeah. And listen, lots of guys went well today, which is what you want. It's getting ready for a final now, so as I said, I'm sort of keen to watch the other game now and how that plays out. And two teams that they're laden with Springboks, really, aren't they? Guys with tons of top end experience. Two very astute coaches as well, so. It's a great challenge.
Jack, Joe was speaking to Orky after the match. He said, "We know everyone loves to hate Leinster." Was that theme of the week? He kind of said it as if it wasn't the first time he said it this week.
I don't think everyone hates Leinster, but I think people definitely revel in us underachieving at times. You get enough flack and stuff. As Leo said, I wouldn't be one for much for social media either, so you try to block out that noise because it's irrelevant. But what we appreciate is the people who come out to see us week in, week out, when the days are good and the days are bad, and those are the people that we're doing it for, and the staff, the lads in change room, the people that give everything to this club, and you try to block out the noise. But it's always nice to prove some people wrong, and hopefully we can go again next week and silence a few more critics.
You haven't mentally ready your group.
I feel like I need to build a social media influencer, right? Yeah. Is that what Peter Ward's got?
Content creator over here.
Marcus, come on, give me the counter, will you?
Mentally, how ready is this group to go under trouble?
I don't know. How do you answer that question? I don't know. It's the big thing is in the way I look at it. I don't look at it like that at all. I look at it as in. What were you in control of now? So this game has ended. Just recover well, look after yourselves, so we don't begin the flight like we did, for a semi-final last year where we, sitting in the dressing room in Loftus and then, heading back to the bloody hotel and you're just that's where you end the season. It was just a bit watch that Glasgow Munster game and you're like, wow, what do you do? You know what I mean? It's grim beyond belief. So, what are we in control of now? We're in control of really having a really good week, and enjoying, I love I've been lucky to be involved in Leinster for a long time, and other teams as well, and so many great days. But it's not you cling to the days when you win a trophy. It's it's the day-to-day relationships that is what I love. So, I love the process of getting ready for a game. And that's what excites me. I enjoy getting out of bed in the morning and I enjoy going into work because it's not work. It's something that we love doing. And this week I'm excited because I have another week to do it. When we've guys that are working 7 days a week, you know what I mean? So they'll be in, do the whatever medical checks and, all the medics, the work that they do. Coaches will be going through the game. They'll be pulling this next game apart. And that's what we love doing. And then it's all about delivering for a performance. And listen, to be honest, once it's over, it's over. The big thing is it's enjoying what you do. So when it's over, win, lose or draw, it's you can't affect it then. We can affect it now. We can't affect it post the game. So when we come in here for the press conference in Croke Park next week and you're as long as we did everything we could to try and get ready for the game and give our best, there's all these other variables that you can't control as well as we know. And that's what makes sport amazing. So when next week is over and whatever we're in Croke Park at 7:30, 8 o'clock, just dealing with the fallout, whatever that is, good, bad, or indifferent. That's it. It's over. You know what I mean? So what can we control now? Getting excited about this week, and that's what I love. I love the process. I love the people we work with. There was a good few of the family there in the dressing room. Like it's magic. That's what we want. You know what I mean? So win, lose or draw, deal with the consequences.
Jack, it's just a harder competition than ever to win with the advent of South African teams and having beaten the champion in the semi-final. Is it altered that feeling that you play one of the South African juggernauts or giants in the final?
Yeah, it's definitely harder than it's ever been. Like, as Leo said, you added in those away trips to South Africa, always kind of fallen at a tricky stage of the year for us. And I think the lads went down this year, and I know they lost against the Bulls, but they put in a hell of an effort for those 2 weeks to get the results against the Sharks. And, that sets us up really well for the tail end of the season. So, it's incredibly tough. Everyone's out to be at their best and to beat everyone, and that's no different for us. For this week, we'll take it moment by moment, enjoy it, special time with a great group of lads, great staff, everyone. So we want to make it a special week. Don't want to be, worried about results. It's all about performance, and that's what we'll be building for. And we won't be overawed by the occasion, and just take it moment by moment, and whatever happens, happens.
Awesome.
Jack, just to help us with the detail of that game, and say if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. It seemed to be very fast in terms of maybe Leinster doing a bit of hurry up and not messing around, keeping them up quickly into touchdown lineouts quickly. Was that a deliberate tactic, or was that just the way the game developed?
I think we always want to play at pace. You look at the athletes and the players that we have across the board. We want to stretch teams and put them under pressure. We want to play quick from rucks. Was it a tactic? No, I think it's just the way the game developed. Obviously, we started fast, had the ball a lot. Sometimes you get stuck into kick battles and things like that, and you're trying to play territory and whatever. But it wasn't the case today, and we rolled up our sleeves and got to work and got to play at a bit of pace, which suits us. So, yeah.
We got the impression, talking during the week to a number of different people, although not one person, that the first game was kind of the 53-0 was sort of a play at one pace, but that the second game, the 13-5 game, was close to Test match standard. Where would you put that on today? Because I noticed at one point, after 10 minutes to go, at one point the ball down the play, and nearly everybody lay down. There was that much going on.
Yeah, I think it's two teams that want to play quick and have high ball and play time. They ran a lot of stuff back and tried to challenge us, so you're not getting as many breaks, and then it's pressure on defensively. But yeah, look, I think parts of it felt like a test match. But when you're dominant in so many areas of the game, you give yourself that kind of release of pressure a little bit. So,
would I be right in saying that Glasgow don't play a similar game to the two South African sides in the semi-final, that it tends to be slower against South African teams?
Yeah, I'll have to ask me next week. I haven't been looking at any South African teams at the moment. We were fully focused on Glasgow.
Jack was on holidays when we were slogging away down in South Africa earlier on the year.
Was I on holidays?
You were on holidays.
Well, I was off. I was in Dublin. I wasn't getting away. But look,
The beauty of the season.
Yeah, look, we'll look at whoever comes through that game and how they want to play. But like the last few weeks, we haven't been worried about it because, again, as Leo said, that's out of our hands. We were focused on Glasgow and our performance, and yeah, we'll look at them. But again, as I said, it'll be about us and what we do.